What's up, Bama Nation? Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, coming to you on a Sunday. Everybody, we all saw what happened over the weekend. We all saw this. Crimson Tide suffering a 21-23 loss to Oklahoma. Bryant-Denny Stadium, Saban Field. Bama suffering its first loss of the season in conference play, its second loss of the season overall, the first time since 2001 where it loses on homecoming. And we were frustrated. We were aggravated. We were bothered by that. One of the most unacceptable, inexcusable losses we've seen here in year two of the Kalen DeBoer era. But after getting a chance to the next day look back over film, dissect some things, and take from what we saw, let's look into what did we learn from this game? What did we learn from the loss to Oklahoma? Well, number one, in my opinion, Alabama, and in particular, Kalen DeBoer, has a Brent Venables problem. That's number one. Brent Venables has had Alabama's number for a while now. Whether he was the defensive coordinator at Clemson under Dabo Swinney, and it was the 2019 college football playoff national title game of the 2018 season in Santa Clara, California, where Venables' defense ripped through Tua Tagovailoa in Alabama, beating it 44-16, or whether it's been back-to-back years, Venables being a head coach of Oklahoma, where he's beaten the Crimson Tide in back-to-back years. And this past Saturday's game was very eerily similar to what happened last season. You had a pick six last season by Peyton Bowen off the arm of Jalen Milroe for a touchdown. A pick six once again by Bowen off the arm of Ty Simpson for a touchdown. 4 turnovers happened that game for Alabama. And it wasn't one where Oklahoma just took it from Alabama. It was Alabama gave it to Oklahoma on a silver platter with turnovers. They did not protect the football. You play a clean game. You play clean. More than likely, you beat Oklahoma by 14 points, but you don't play clean. And for Simpson, the pick six. For Simpson, the 2 fumbles where he gets sacked, he gets hit, doesn't take care of the ball pops out. The turnover by Ryan Williams on the punt return, the ball gets punched out from the side. Ryan trying to do a bit too much there. Fumble happens. Against Brent Venables, turnovers have happened where Alabama football is concerned, and this has led to losses. And I mentioned in my own words last week, on Friday of last week, the first return back of the show, that Oklahoma was going to come into Bryant-Denny ready to play. Why? Because Alabama scheduled Oklahoma for its homecoming. And what's high school football 101? You only schedule a team for your homecoming that you feel like is easy, that you feel like is sweet, that you feel like you're going to take down with no problem. So Oklahoma took this personally. They felt the most disrespected by Alabama scheduling it for its homecoming. And what did Oklahoma do? Come down here defensively, forced turnovers, or got Alabama to give the ball away to them, because 20 of Oklahoma's 23 points came off of 4 Alabama turnovers. There's a Brent Venables problem when it comes to Alabama, in particular, Kalen DeBoer. That's got to be fixed. That's got to be solved, because right now, Brent Venables has Bama's number. Right now, Brent Venables owns Alabama football, and it should not be that way. When you talk about back-to-back years, you are losing to Oklahoma. No. Defense played well enough to win that game. Offense, turnovers, you cannot have the turnovers. That's number one. The number 2 thing that we learned is Daniel Hill is the starting running back at this point. D. Hill should be the starting running back. And I understand if you look at the box score, 15 carries for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns doesn't seem like a whole lot. But if you take into account the struggles that Alabama has had running the football in the last few weeks here, that performance by Daniel Hill was the best performance we've seen in a few weeks. 15 carries, 60 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. And as I've stated before, runs with power, falls forward, grinds out 2, 3, 4 yards a play, 4 yards a carry. This is your best back right now, Daniel Hill. Now, of course, I would like to see A.K. Deer get reps. I would like to see A.K. Deer get an opportunity. I would like to see A.K. Deer get some burn. But right now, Daniel Hill, best running back on your roster right now. Daniel Hill giving you the best reps right now in terms of that position. So that's number 2 thing that we learned. I think D Hill needs to be RB1 moving forward throughout the remainder of the season. The third thing that we learned, something is just off with this offense. Something is off with Ty Simpson. Something is off with Ryan Williams. Jeremy Bernard didn't have his best game against Oklahoma. The best offensive weapon that you saw consistently out there against the Sooners was Josh Cuevas. Cuevas was the best weapon out there. So something's off. I mean, ever since the Georgia game, something's been off. And it was like this last year. Last year, the offense went crazy the first half against Georgia. And then the second half of the Georgia game, throughout the remainder of last season, something went off with Alabama's offense. With the exception of they found something against LSU with Jalen Milroe running the football, and they took down the Tigers in Baton Rouge. But aside from that, something was off with the offense last year. It's the same thing now. Something's off. Ever since the Georgia game, it started off slow against Vanderbilt, slow against Tennessee, slow against Missouri, slow against South Carolina, slow against LSU, and slow against Oklahoma. And the only reason why those other matchups prior to Oklahoma, we don't talk about how slow the offense was because it was bailed out by the defense making big-time plays, making big-time adjustments in critical moments when you needed it. And the offense was just able to put together a huge drive at the end, or a huge drive in certain moments to secure the win, right? Or to put Alabama ahead for good. Against Oklahoma, you didn't see that drive be put ahead. So now the slowfulness offensively has come back to bite you. And defense, like I said, played well enough to win that game. And Alabama should have won that game. It doesn't play clean. The turnovers come back to bite you. There's something off with this offense. Something off with Ty Simpson. Something off with Ryan Williams. There's an issue here. And if you're Ryan Grubb, you got to fix this. If you're Ryan Grubb, this is where you get paid the big bucks. You have got to fix whatever's going on with this offense, because something ain't right. Something is just not right with this offense. So Ryan Grubb, I don't know what it is, but you have got to fix this as the offensive coordinator. You've got to fix this. You came back to hook up with your bro, Kevin DeVore. Now that you're back with your bro, you've got to fix this offense, because this does not look like the same offense that went into Athens and took care of business against Georgia. They came out with confidence between the hedges. And this offense has slowly lost confidence since that matchup right there. So that's number 3 thing. Something is wrong offensively that we learned. That's got to get fixed. The fourth thing is how fitting this is that the Iron Bowl against Auburn, and in Auburn, will be the game once again that determines the playoff postseason hopes, fate, dreams, aspirations, goals of your Alabama Crimson Tide. I mean, how fitting. The Iron Bowl in Auburn. Jordan Hare will determine this due to Alabama has a conference loss. There are a couple of other teams in the SEC with one conference loss, one of those being Ole Miss. You're going to have to beat Auburn in Auburn, come out there ready to play, because Auburn, their season's in the tank. They got to win this game, and they got to win against Mercer this week and against Alabama the next week to even be bowl eligible. Right now, Auburn's 4-6. So Auburn has to win 2 games to get a bowl game. And there is nothing more that Auburn would want than to spoil Alabama's chances of getting into the college football playoff, while at the same time punching in their ticket for a bowl game. There's nothing more that DJ Durkin would want rather than be the coach at Auburn to beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl, spoil Alabama's postseason goals and aspirations, and have AD John Cohen go to him and say, because you spoiled this for Alabama, because you beat our in-state rival, because you got the victory, we want to offer you the head coaching position first to replace one Hugh Freeze. So Bama's got to beat Auburn. You got to go down the Jordan Hare, and you got to take it from Auburn in terms of keeping your postseason aspirations alive. Because last year we saw a 3-loss team didn't get in. Bama's a 3-loss team, didn't get in to the playoff. And it was Oklahoma that did it, right? So now here is Auburn with a chance in the Iron Bowl to do it in potentially knocking Alabama out of college football playoff contention here. So this is big here. This is what we learned, guys. We learned Bama's got a Brent Venables problem. Back-to-back wins over Alabama as the head coach of Oklahoma. Don't like that whatsoever. Don't like that, but that's what we have right now. Number 2, what we learned, D Hill needs to be RB1 for the remainder of the season with how he's been growing, how he's been developing, and the plays he's been able to make. Number 3, there's something off offensively with Alabama. Ryan Grubb, you're getting paid the paper. Fix this problem. You getting paid the money, fix it. Last but not least here, we've learned the Iron Bowl. Once again, this in-state, one of the greatest rivalries of college football, will play a huge, pivotal role in Alabama's postseason dreams, goals, and aspirations. Hate that the loss happened against Oklahoma. Hurt that it happened. But you got to turn the page and move forward. And hopefully, Alabama is able to turn that page and move forward. It's yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, just providing what we learned in Alabama's loss to Oklahoma.